So one of the things that I found that have really helped me out is the organization of my tools and making sure that I keep the bare essentials with me at all times. I've had this Packout set up for about 3 years, and I've been really happy with it. It keeps all my basics in there, as well as all the things I really need to get a job done here in this lower area. So real quickly, just to show you guys what I keep stored in here and what you can store. So as you can see here, I have my framing nailers, and my two main ones that I use are my framing nailer. I know I said framing nailer, but just my nailers. My framing nailer and a 16 gauge nailer. So I really like these pass loads, and they fit perfectly in here along with all my other tools. So, and if anyone's curious about like working or like fumbling through the boxes, generally what I will do is I will hook the things that have hooks along the sides here, so it makes it easier for me to get in here. Next thing I have, reciprocating sawzall. I must have thrown an extra battery in here. My circular saw, which I generally keep hung on that handle. And then angle grinder down here at the bottom. Keep a couple of tape measures just in case I misplaced one. My multi-tool, and I like to keep my most used tools close by. So as you can see, like my multi-tool, I can just grab that, pull that out. Same thing with my circular saw. And once I unpack, you're okay. Once I unpack the mains out here, I can get to it. My angle grinder I don't use all that much, but I need it, and when I do need it, it sits down there. And then a bunch of drills. I generally keep 2 or 3 drills in here. My orbital sander, and then I brought my jigsaw. I typically don't keep that in here, but it could fit as well. And so as you can see, a lot of the bare essentials you need for carpentry can go right in here. Then I'm going to work down to the 4 drawer. In here I keep basically drill bits, standard bits. So I got a bunch of these like nut driving bits right here, all Torx right here, just miscellaneous. A lot of Phillips, extensions, drill bits, masonry bits. As you can see, I got a snake right angle and just a typical right angle. And then I like keeping these little boxes, especially when I'm working at heights. I will fill them up with all these little miscellaneous ones. And then every single, like a PH2, T20s, T25s. So this drawer is just set for drill stuff. Here I keep my blades. So typically multi-tool blades all sit in here. Angle grinder, so like I got concrete, tile, and metal cutting blades, all the different kinds of blades I could want for my circular saw. There's going to be like Hardy blades in there, finished blades, Sawzall blades, and typically I keep a whole lot of like just standard multi-tool blades there, and then special multi-tool blades here. Somehow that ended up in here. And then, you know, got to keep wrenches for routers, saw, they're there too. Third drawer is my fastener drawer, and just pencils, books, extra cartridge for the framing gun, 16 gauge, 2.5s, 3-inch, 3-inch screws, 2 3/8 screws, hangers, and then a few structural miscellaneous. Fourth drawer sometimes becomes a catch-all, but as you can see, chalk line, sandpaper, oil primer. I sometimes keep caulking, adhesives, shims. I'm not quite sure. I'm gonna figure this one out at some point. But then when we move down here, this is my battery drawer. So the top drawer is all live batteries. They're fully charged or partially charged. And then down here, I typically throw the dead batteries. I keep a fast charger just so I can charge them as I need it. And then these are just things from another job. But I've come to realize, because I typically stay on top of my dead batteries, and so I can at least keep my headphones down here because I like having that when I'm in really noisy situations. And I might even put my particle mask in here if it will fit. Now, that's not all. On this cart, I also keep my 4-foot level, a 36-inch pry bar, and 2 12-inch clamps. And then I put my caulking gun right there. And so this just allows me to roll everything I need up to my spot where I'm working, and it has most of almost everything I need to get a job done. The other thing is you can see like there's some places where there is extra space, so I can keep throwing tools into there as I'm doing the job, especially if it's a multi-day job, and not having to walk so much. I can roll this whole thing up. The dolly from Packout isn't exactly the best, but once you get used to it, you will find that this like just setup of having everything real close to your work site just makes everything so much easier.